Hey everybody, this video is called Wisdom from God, and tonight we continue our pass-through study here in the book of Job, where we're going to continue looking at Job, and we're going to see Job speak on wisdom and understanding. And if you recall from Saturday, we left off seeing that Job agreed with his friends that indeed the wicked do suffer. But Job is arguing in his side of the story that it has nothing to do with his case, especially since he is righteous. So Job called on his friends to consider that maybe God's wisdom is beyond their comprehension. And that's the theme of today's chapter, is on the wisdom of God. And the wisdom of God, it's not gained by natural or practical knowledge. What God doesn't reveal, we cannot know. In today's chapter may think you were hearing from the book of Proverbs if you didn't know we were in the book of Job. So you're going to see very wise words coming out of chapter 28. So chapter 28 verse 1 through 4 kicks off, "Surely there is a mine for silver, and a place where gold is refined. Iron is taken from the earth, and copper is smelted in from one. Man puts an end to darkness and searches every recess for ore in the darkness and the shadow of death. He breaks open a shaft away from people. In places forgotten by feet, they hang afar away from men. They swing to and fro." So Job considered the way that men search for precious valuables and useful metals such as silver, gold, iron, and copper. And this chapter, in its place in the book of Job, is the source of some controversy among many scholars. And they find it impossible that Job would have ever recited this poem. And it seemed too calm, it seems too thoughtful, and too reflective to be one of Job's friends. And some scholars don't believe that it belongs in the book of Job at all, and that later time a scribe inserted it into the book. And like I say on these videos, I'm not going to spend time to debate on this myself. And Job explains how men diligently sought after these precious and useful metals. And they light up dark places. They search every recess. They break into open a shaft away from people and even personally endanger themselves. And I think of one of the hardest jobs today. That's a very safety, safety not friendly for safety, is mining. But we're going to continue here. Verse 5 through 11 says, "As for the earth, from it comes bread, but underneath it is turned up as by fire. Its stones are the source of sapphires, and it contains gold dust. That path no bird knows, nor has the falcon's eye seen it. The proud lions have not trodden it, nor has the fierce lion passed over it. He put his hand on the flint. He overturns the mountains at its roots. He cuts out channels in the rocks, and his eye sees every precious thing. He dams up the streams from trickling. What is hidden he brings forth to light." So references in verses 5 through 11 of mining silver, gold, iron, and flint, and sapphires, as well as a smelting copper. And tremendous effort is made by men who seek these precious things. And check out Proverbs chapter 2 for your homework assignment on wisdom further. And mining, it's a human achievement that sets mankind apart from animals. We don't see anything within animals mining. In Job, he's painting a picture of the earth as a treasure house that contains of values and riches for those who work hard and search diligently for the riches. And Job here is explaining how hard men are willing to work, to gain the treasures of this earth and wealth hidden in the earth. In verse 12 through 19 says, "But where can wisdom be found? And where is the place of understanding? Man does not know its value, nor is it found in the land of the living. The deep says, it is not in me, and the sea says, it is not with me. So it cannot be purchased for gold, nor can silver be weighed for its price. It cannot be valued in the gold of Ophir, and precious onyx or sapphire, neither gold nor crystal can equal it, nor can it be exchanged for the jewelry of fine gold. No mention shall be made of coral or quartz, for the price of wisdom is above rubies. The topaz of Ethiopia cannot equal it, nor can it be valued in pure gold." So verses 12 through 19 sum up the message of the chapter with the point that no amount of effort, even as vigorous and demanding as mining, will yield God's wisdom. And it cannot be valued. It cannot be found in the world. It cannot be bought at any price. And man fails to appreciate the worth of wisdom. And it can't be found by exploring the ocean depths or by trading in the marketplace. And wisdom isn't for sale. In verse 20 through 28 it says, "From where then does wisdom come? And where is the place of understanding? It is hidden from the eyes of all living, and concealed from the birds of the air. Destruction and death say, we have heard a report about it with our ears. God understands its ways, and he knows its place. For he looks to the ends of the earth, and sees under the whole heavens, to establish a weight for the wind, and apportion the waters by measure. When he made a law for the rain, and a path for the thunderbolt, then he saw wisdom and declared it. He prepared it indeed. He searched it out. And to the man he said, Behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and the depart from evil is understanding." So the living cannot find wisdom, and neither the dead. And these are the most important thoughts in the chapters of the debates. And Job and his friends have sought God's wisdom for 3 rounds, and basically they've been going in a merry-go-round. They haven't gotten anywhere near the truth. And finally, Job made the point clearly that divine wisdom is necessary to explain his suffering. And the divine wisdom necessary to explain his suffering was inaccessible to man. And only God knew all about it, because God knows everything, that God is omniscient. And true wisdom belongs to the one who is the Almighty Creator. And one can know if he declares it to him, as seen in Deuteronomy 29:29. And from the very beginning, God established how mankind should live. In verse 28, it said, "And to man he said, Behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding." So behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom. Job had made the connections that the others wouldn't, while the specific features of God's wisdom may not be revealed to us. The alpha and omega of wisdom is to revere God. It is to have a holy fear of God and to avoid sin, as seen in Psalm 111:10, Proverbs 1:7, Proverbs 9:10, and Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13 and 14. And it challenges leaving the unanswered questions to him and trust in submission. And all we can do is trust and obey, as Ecclesiastes 12:13 says. And that's enough wisdom. And this is the wisdom that we see between Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7 through Proverbs chapter 2, verse 9. And if you get nothing out of today's video, one may never know the reasons for the sufferings in this life. And so tonight we see that Job gave a lecture on wisdom. He gives like a topical message, and he speaks about how men seek after treasure in the earth, that men will literally put their lives at stake for the treasures of the earth. And Job went on to explain the value and the source of wisdom, as true wisdom is rare, as verse 12 through 19 covers. In the chapter, it ends with the source and the summary of wisdom. And the right relationship with God is the key to wisdom. And I want to look at Colossians chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. So Colossians chapter 2, verse 2 and 3, we'll start with verse 1 actually. It says, "For I want you to know what a great conflict I have for you and those in Laodicea, and for as many as have not seen my face in the flesh, that their hearts may be encouraged, being knit together in love, and attain into all the riches of the full assurance of understanding, to the knowledge of the mystery of God, both of the Father and of Christ, in whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge." So all treasures of wisdom comes from Christ. And we know that Jesus' half-brother James said that God gives liberally to those who ask God for wisdom. And that's going to wrap up today's video. We'll see you next, as we're going to see Job reflects times past when things were better in life than they are in his current state. And we are officially 2/3 of the way through our study in the book of Job here. So I hope you have a great rest of your evening. I'll let you know when the next video will be. God bless.